You know what's funny? Ex-players, we got here's always something that guys like Garry Cobb and myself and Seth Joyner, when we got fan bases that are so passionate, like the Eagles. And you know what? Gary and I'm going to bring Gary up here in a minute. 10-1, 10-1. And we're like, that team is not as good as you think it is. They're last in every defense. This is a tsunami coming, and you don't see it. Garry Cobb saw it. Seth Joyner saw it. But when you see 10-1, the fan base does this. These two guys are just haters. No one loves them. They're just talking shit. And we saw the tsunami. And this is the reason I picked the Cowboys last week and the Niners. Teams that play the Niners, then the next week, they're 1-26. They beat you up. And that's what showed out. Let's bring Garry Cobb in now from Fox 29. And I'm sure it's been a hell of a day, but boy, Gary, I mean, your takeaway from really what that and Gary, let me throw this at you here right away before you answer here. Red zone defense, 30th. Yards per game, 22nd. Third down defense, 32nd. Passing TDs allowed, 31st. Points per game, 28th. This is not a Cowboy thing. This has been a year-long thing.
Well, it is. It's something that really is really discouraging, because this team is just haven't been playing. They don't play sound football. A lot of the guys in the secondary, unfortunately, like Seth said, don't want to tackle people. Come on, somebody's got to make the tackle, and they haven't really done that. And, really, I got to admit that, the Cowboys got after them. Man, I mean, this is one of the best games they played because they ran the ball on the Eagles. I mean, they ran the ball down their throat. And then anytime they wanted to, they just took whatever they wanted. And, they were up and down the field. Really, it could have been a worse score than it was. I mean, it was bad, but it could have been even worse. But they haven't been playing sound football all year long. They've been able to get away with it by just kind of making a few big plays late in the game and kind of saving themselves. But it was bound to happen, and they really just got exposed by another quality football team that came in and really took whatever they wanted. I mean, if anything, like I said, they took their foot off the gas pedal and didn't really just humiliate them, which they really could have.
The last two teams, Niners did the same thing the week before they took their foot off the gas pedal. Gary, yeah. I blame Howie for that defense, and here's why. I mean, again, I get that he pays the quarterback coming up here in the next couple of years, but him paying him, the team suffered. And I mean by this, the linebackers, every guy on that unit has been waived this year. The safety position has no money. Mm-hmm. And for him to devalue it the way that they did, for all the success that he had a year ago, this has been a colossal disaster. The Nakobe Dean faith that they had in him, this has to fall. I mean, let's just talk about personnel first. They didn't retool that defense like they did from a year ago.
Well, the things that you mentioned about at the linebacker position, I mean, where this is like, it's not an important position. What? Linebacker is not an important position. You don't have as many linebackers on the field, but they play a vital role because, they make most of your tackles. So if they're not tackling well, then you got a problem because they got to be able to make open field tackles. A lot of times they're one-on-one with people. So, they've got to be good players. And really, the defensive line really, wasn't dominating. If they're dominant, then it kind of covers over things, but they haven't been dominating. I mean, and against Dallas's offensive line, Dallas has got a good offensive line. A number of those guys are Pro Bowl level type players, and they were blocking the Eagles. And Dak is, he's playing outstanding football. 1, 2, 3, and the ball is out. So it was ugly. It was painful to sit there and watch that.
How do you think
24-6 at the half?
Gary, when I look at Jalen. I said this earlier, and I go,
Mhm.
you paid a guy $50 million, and the Jalen Hurts that I see this year, that's not $50 million worth of quarterback to me. Last year was. Now, if
Uh-huh.
you want to put the RPO in, and you add that to the game plan, I'm going to pay that.
Yeah.
But if you're going to take that part of his game out, where he's holding the ball as long as he is, which you and I would know this, he struggles reading defense.
Yeah.
And you want to know why the play's taking time to develop so long? It's because he can't find him. He can't find the receiver. You know what's happening in Philly? They're blaming the routes and they're blaming the wideouts. No, the quarterback can't find him. Okay? They don't want to put it on the quarterback.
That's right. Well, he's, others have looked at it, and you can see where he's taken a long time to read the coverage and to decipher about where he's going with the football. Now, he's gotten better at that. If anything, I think he's kind of fallen off of that. He was getting better at that. But clearly, he has been, holding the ball against San Francisco. The offensive line did a good job against San Francisco, but he was holding the ball. He wasn't making a quick decision and getting that ball to the open guy. And, he's struggling some yesterday doing that. So you got a combination of that. And then the fact that you got to give Dallas credit for the fact they were going after the football. They play aggressive defense where they're punching the ball out. They're going after the football. And, that's the kind of football you want to play, because if you force turnovers, you're going to win. Most of the time, you're going to win the game. And those 3 turnovers the Eagles had were vital because they were in Cowboys territory. They were trying to keep the game close. And those 3 turnovers were, crucial. And it basically just made, just say, okay, everybody drive safely on your way home. This one is over. And that's the way that game was, man. I mean, I got to give it. The Cowboys are playing better. I mean, they are getting better and better as the season goes along. And the way things are right now, the Eagles, of course, have a chance to change that. But, it's the Cowboys and the 49ers are playing the best football. And the Eagles, they probably did them a favor. If somebody slaps you in the face, they're giving you a chance to wake up. Now, this still could be a team, but they got to have a talk, with the man in the mirror.
How about
some
this,
guys
Gary?
Not out there playing as hard as you would like to see?
Gary, how about this? Have you been surprised? And I brought this up. Kellen Moore, when he was in Dallas, he moves to Los Angeles with Justin Herbert, and the Charger offense is awful. Mike McCarthy takes over.
Yeah.
Dak looks like this is the best year he's had in his 9-year career.
Without a doubt.
Underneath passes, the balls, like you said, getting in and out quicker. I mean, he's finding guys, receivers like Brandon Cooks and these other guys, Michael Gallup. He's turning this guy Ferguson into a player. I mean, you're seeing a quarterback coming of age a little bit. And, he's in the 2 Eagle games, he's played exceptional. When you put them both together, I mean, have you been surprised that the Cowboys have become a better, efficient offense under Mike when there was a lot of criticism? Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay didn't really think he was the best play caller. I've been surprised.
Yeah, I've been surprised too, because you could see the confidence in Dak. Listening to him talk, that he has a good understanding of what he's doing. He understands his role in playing the quarterback position, and that he gets back there to the last step of his drop, and boom, the ball's coming out, and he knows where he's going with the ball. And you just see the confidence oozing out of him, that you can clearly see this is a different level of quarterback. He's got a lot of confidence. And, of course, that is one of the keys to playing the quarterback position. But he's seeing the field. Obviously, Mike McCarthy has sat down with him and given him a better read of what to expect and how he looks at a defense, where he's able to read, he's 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And he knows where he's going with the football. And really, that's what the key is to playing quarterback is. You got to read on that drop. You got to read what you see. And then at the end of your drop, you'd like to be getting rid of the football, because that makes it very difficult for a defense to be able to defend a guy that's that definitive about where he's going with the ball, and he's able to read what they're in. This is the best I've ever seen him play, without a doubt. It's not even close. 2
last questions for you. You think they go into Seattle and win next week?
The team that I've seen, maybe they revive, but the team I've seen out there on the field, I don't know how they, I don't know. I couldn't say that I'm sure of that they're going to go out there and win. I'm hoping, just like I've been, hoping the other weeks. But there's got to be a turnaround. They've got to make some kind of adjustment. They're just not playing good football.
Is that possible?
And really, on both sides of the ball, you don't see the offensive line. You don't see the running game like it was there before.
Gary, is it possible though? Going into week 14 and week 15, is it possible? I mean, we've been saying, you and me and Seth and we've been saying this all year. Hey, before it was, well, it's early in the season. It's early in the season. They haven't played their best ball. Yeah. Can it be possible, Gary? This is their best ball.
I didn't think this all year long, but it may be the best that they play. You got to play it now. You don't have months to go through the game. You got to step up. They got to start playing at that level now. Yeah. So I don't know if they are. I mean, it's not looking good. And I see a defense out there where there's always somebody open. I mean, just wide open. And with the poor tackling. They're not doing a good job against the run. So now, before they were stopping the run. You couldn't run the ball against the Eagles. Now people are running the ball, throwing the ball, basically whatever you want to do either one. And if they keep playing like that, I don't think they're going to win because, they may be able to beat the Giants.
Wow. Well, hey, we're trying to set our bar a little higher. Hey, finally, Gary, do you think I'll ask you one more time and revisit this question? This team is not as good as last year's team, right?
No. They're definitely not right now.
Which means they're not a Super Bowl team.
No, I don't see them. Come on. They got to beat either one of those two teams they just lost to, and they didn't even belong on the field. So they've got to make up that ground. People are talking about the schedule and how they were tired, and that's very tired.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Hey, I got a question for you, though. Where am I at? Do you know where I'm at?
That looks like Florida.
Is this Florida?
Are you in Florida?
Yeah, I'm in Florida, yeah.
Are you in Miami?
Lauderdale. Yeah,
Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, I'm down here. I got NFL meetings we have. See, I work during the week. I'm working with young guys who played in the NFL, and now it's over. And so I help them in kind of putting together, their life, and we have about
transition.
Yeah, we have about 8 other guys, former players, and we work with these guys. So we got a group of them that are down here now, and we're going to be working with them this week. And really, it's a time where it's always, we start out where we do the congratulations. You made it to the NFL. And some of the guys, they get emotional, they're crying about it and everything. They know that their career is over. But now, after that first night, then we start talking to them about, now you got to get up and you got to decide what you're going to do, and guys start looking for, different opportunities that we help them with, and then kind of helping them put their lives back together. Man. So we got a lot of the guys that are down here, them and their wives or their significant other. And, it's time to get real. Guys have to get real after they finish playing. They got to move on because life goes on. And you know what? You still got to pay the bills.
Hey, Gary, let me tell you this. People don't realize it, and I'm not comparing it to anything like the military or anything, but when you've put your heart and soul into something, and you've put your body and soul into something, and you've put your family's togetherness, and you've put people to the side, and you've put all your Hey, because you got to be selfish thinking when you're a football player, because you've got to do things and you've got to train and you got to do all that. And when someone tells you that shit's over, let me tell you, man, you get lost for 3 years and you could go in this direction or you could go in that direction, because what people don't realize, it ain't about money, man. It's about living the quality of life later on in your life, because that ain't that easy. Now, I know people go, well, why didn't you say, well, hey, man, people think, and I'll leave you with this here. You make $1 million, let's say. Well, the tax man comes in and he takes about 35% of that bitch, and that's $350,000 taken off. Standard of living, quality of life, you're going to talk about another $250,000. If you think that you could live your life on $200,000 for 3 years or 4 years in what you've made, $800,000 for the next 50 years, you're high.
That's right.
You're not going to.
That's right. You're going to have to move on to something else, and that's what we tell these guys. So we're able to work with them, and you get to know a lot of the guys, and most of them, they wind up doing very well. But they need that. You have to have that talking to them about what you just said, which is say, look, that's over now. You're gonna have to pick up, man. You gotta move. We gotta move on. You look. You got these kids over here. You got a family. You got to look. Go ahead and cry your tears. Get it all out. Now let's get up. We got to move on to the next chapter of our lives.
Garry, I know you remember this. You look in that mirror, man. You go, God dang, I think it's it. It's it. Hey, man. And then you have that private moment come to Jesus, and you're like, damn. Okay. I was 32, I think, because I had played in all these leagues, and I went, damn. I spent 25 years of my life in this bitch. Yeah. Getting to the point, and now I'm looking in the mirror going, and I was in the CFL at the time, and I went like this. I'm not sticking up this. This is over with. And then, dude, you sit around for a couple of years going, where am I going? You don't know what direction the boat's taking you in. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yep. So we try to make it very clear and try to, push these guys and let them know, hey, it's time to get up and move on. Dry the tears. And, it's something when you got a big 330-pound guy leaning on you crying. You go, hey, all right, man. Okay, let's pick it up. Let's pick it up, buddy. I hear you. Garry, it's good stuff, though. It's good stuff. I love what you're doing for our alumni and our guys that there's only 29,000 men in 108 years of the National Football League that have ever played. And there's only 16,500 of us alive to this day, including the current guys. It's a very small fraternity. Get this, you have a better chance of being an astronaut than you do a professional football player. So it's pretty remarkable. You have a better chance of working at NASA than you do as a pro football player. Thank you, my friend. Hey, have a great one. You got it, man. Thank you so much. All right. I appreciate it. That is my friend, Garry Cobb, and we appreciate him. By the way, don't forget, please make sure you fill out our information when it comes to our great chance for you to win some gift certificates from Hooters. Swiss Cheese D. I mean, Tone comes up with some great ones. All you have to do is email the code word. You'll see it throughout the program. DanSilioShow@gmail.com. Give us all your information. And come Football Monday, you might see your name called. We appreciate everybody. Hooters gift cards. Garry, I want to thank you guys for what you did for me over at King of Prussia yesterday or Saturday. A lot of people showed up. We gave Eagle tickets away. It was fantastic. Thank you again. Don't forget to get those stocking stuffers, those Santa Bucks. Man, they're absolutely awesome from Hooters. You can also go to their app, HootersToGo.com. Locations all throughout the New England area, plus the King of Prussia. Military Monday, 20% off all day for our military today. Don't forget, Wing Wednesdays, 1983, all you can eat. Kids eat for free on Saturday. That's NortheastHooters.com, NortheastHooters.com. And when you roll in, do me a favor. Tell them Big Sil sent you.
Eat chicken wings, buy Hooters things. Christmas is near. Shop, have a beer. Christmas shopping shouldn't be hard. Give your friends a Hooters gift card.
This year, stuff their stockings and yours too with a one-size-fits-all gift card. Buy a $25 Hooters gift card and receive a $5 Santa's bonus card. Make it Hooters for the holidays.
Eat chicken wings, buy Hooters things. Christmas is near. Gift cards are here. Good at Hooters everywhere now. Hooters gifts are always favored.